Hi guys, it's so beautiful and the sun's starting to burn off this fog. It's actually very gorgeous right now. We have a lot of trees I thought you guys might enjoy. And it's warm compared to the last few days where it's been, minus 15 to 25. This must be only about minus 5. It's beautiful out here. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about was something that I've been mulling in my head for a while. It's kind of been sitting there. I've been trying to figure it out for a while. I actually made a video, but I'm having a hard time downloading anything that I put anything else on. So that's why you're getting more of these. Whoops. And what it's about is I've been thinking about this for a few years now. What was it that made me go from a dedicated Christian, totally in love with God and Jesus, and to an atheist? And that's kind of always bothered me, why that happens. Like, how did that happen? How did I go from that girl that was just madly in love with God to not even believing in a God? And I keep on going back to antidepressants, that I went on antidepressants for a number of years because my life got really crappy. and they were promoting it, and they were saying to people, don't put down people who are antidepressants. They were really pushing it, right? So anyways, about 2016, I think it was, I was listening to, who was I listening to at that time? I think it was Mysterious Universe and the Higher Side Chat, right? I think it was on the Higher Side Chat, and they were talking about, I'm pretty sure it was either one of those two. Anyways, they were talking about this CIA leak tape that was out, and so I watched the tape, and I tried to download it and make a video out of it, but YouTube's not allowing me to. And it was the pharmaceutical company was doing was showing this certain drug to the CIA, and how they found that this drug centered on the brain that made people religious, made people have a love for God. And the language that they were using was radical religious people, fanatics, And at that time when I was listening, I wasn't a Christian. I was on antidepressants. I did not have a connection to God. So I thought this was a great thing because ISIS was really big, right? And we heard all the time, and I thought, well, good, we'll stop these people from being radical. And they were, in that tape, they said that the best way to distribute that is through vaccinations. And I don't know if you can see, let's see. Up there, okay. Can you see the horse over there? So that was going to be their distributing method of this. And they were talking about the Middle East, right? So that, I don't know. You only see what you see at the time. For whatever reason, you don't necessarily see the way you're supposed to. And I didn't see it as being a threat. I do now, and now now that I've found God again, I'm not on antidepressants, and I haven't been for many years, so that isn't I don't have that interrupting with me. Now I can see a little bit more clear, I think, of what they're doing and what's going to happen with this shot. This, it's going to be able to tracker in it. You're not going to be able to buy or sell anything, right? But it has more than that. It has, I believe, this enzyme or whatever it was that they were talking about to destroy that part of your brain, to sever your connection to God. And like if you after I upload this, I will put a link to that video if you guys want to watch it. It is very disturbing when you start looking at it from those eyes. It is very disturbing. And I think that they've been working on that, separating people from God through antidepressants for a few decades now. Because the people that I'm having the hardest time connecting with emotionally, where I'm having the hardest time getting them to see beyond the ones that kind of saw for a while, recently a lot of them started going on antidepressants. And there seems to be a huge connection. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, this is just something that's been mulling in my head. You know, the connections that I'm making from my past experiences, because surely that's what this is a blog of my life, of what I see. So tell me what you guys think of this. Have you noticed that? But I do feel there is a huge connection between this, that that's what an antidepressant is. Right? So anyway, there's that. So like I said, I'll try putting a link in. Maybe you've already seen it. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, honestly, that is so stunning. Gotta appreciate God's creation. You just got to. I'm one of those kind of people that like to look at clouds and stuff. I find nature to be, swells my heart. It makes me joyful. I just really get a lot of peace from nature. Come on, Scruffy, let's go this way. Baby. Scruffy. He has only got one eye, and the other eye has a cataract on it, and he is going deaf. And he has a huge tumor on the one eye that is missing. So we got he's still not in pain or anything, so, you know, I don't believe that you have to euthanize your animals unless they're in pain. It reminds me of the scripture. It says, "Thou shalt not kill." Come on, baby. He still has a great life. Scruffy, Scruffy, baby. Hey, this way. Come on, come on. He's here. Okay. Go back this way. It's more scenic and prettier. But the other thing that I wanted to mention, well, it was just interesting because, like, we've got the fog, right? And we got all this hoarfrost, and it reminded me as I'm looking out, because it was really foggy when I started getting ready. Have you ever seen that show, The Crown, from Netflix? It's about, supposed to be like journaling the Queen's life right from before, right when her uncle had abdicated the throne. And when she was still a teen, and then getting the crown. So anyways, I think it was like in the second season, they had the episode was about this fog that hit the UK. And I remember my mom telling me about this, you know, because I was born in 1959, so I'm not that long. I was, 15 years since the end of the World War II. It's like people who were born, you know, in 2017, their family members and everything are still remembering 9/11, right? And it's still very fresh, like it just happened. Well, Second World War and a lot of those experiences were very fresh to my family and people that I knew. So it reminded me of that my mom had talked about it. So about this fog that killed like 12,000 people in 2015 in December. It was like a 3 or 4 day period. And it hospitalized over 150,000 people in the UK. And they said that it had to do with this fog set in and there was no movement of air in all of the factories. You know, all the factories, smoke and poison and stuff like that settled down and killed everybody that way. And it could have been. That could have been the reason, but I'm always suspicious of whenever you have mass amounts of people being affected. So I'm looking right before I'm getting ready, and I got my jacket on, and here I am Googling. Is that true? Is this story true? Again, because it's been a while since I looked into it. It's been a couple of years. And sure enough, there's lots of articles on it, so that one is easy to find. People aren't making that connection right now. So Google isn't burying it. And I found one article that I was reading to my husband, and it was talking about how this happened in the UK like 3 times in the 1800s, and about 3 times in the it was like 48, 52, 62, I can't remember the exact dates, but something like that, that this had happened repeatedly. We know that what they say as being, you know, accidents or whatever they tell us is usually not the truth. It usually is something that they've done to us to... So anyways, if you guys go and take a look, if you're interested, and look at, you know, go and take a look and see about that, and see if you can see anything more about those situations, about the fog that killed so many people back in 1952. I just thought that was an interesting coincidence. Again, I mean, I have a very suspicious mind, I always have. And since I am a history buff and I love stuff like that, those kind of connections start to come back to me. But I know, what do you guys think about the antidepressants and that shot that the CIA was developing? And I think that video was from 2013. That it was released, whether it was made at that time, I don't know. It kind of looked a little bit older, you know, but you're looking back in 2013, a lot does change. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's just something to contemplate. Why I'm taking this beautiful walk, and it's fresh and gorgeous, and we know that stuff is happening around the world, and I still have that joy inside myself, although the world does seep in, you know. You have to keep it a little bit more pure, keep away from some of this. You know, a lot of people that I really enjoy listening to, I have to really give a break to, like Richie from Boston. You know, you can't, he makes so many videos, and they're not cleansing for the spirit. I mean, like, we know what's going on, but to watch it constantly, I pray for him all the time, because his spirit is so agitated. He has no peace, it seems. And yes, he's doing a job, and I know that God is going to reward him for what he's doing, but for us who know, those videos really are not necessarily for us anymore, because we know. We have, you know, we've been educated, and constantly watching all of the latest, like, Israel news and things like that just agitates the spirit. What agitates the spirit makes it so the immune system doesn't work very well, and makes it so that we get run down and we can get sick. And, you know, this is not the time that you want to have to go to the hospital. Like, honestly, the New York Post, or Washington Post, wrote an article recently that said do not resuscitate orders they're thinking about doing because there's such a backlog of all of these people that they're just not going to resuscitate them anymore. You know, and I've been to my hospital twice in a week period of time and there's nobody there. And it's funny, when you post these things, people are saying, oh, but they're not taking any corona patients at that hospital. But that's what they say at every single hospital. They say that at every single hospital that they film. Oh, but that's not the one. But I do feel something is going to happen soon. I don't know. My spirit has been up and down, but there's still that joy and that settling, and there's an anticipation of something good. And I don't know, is that because maybe everybody is going to wake up? Is that the reason why? Is it going to be or is Jesus coming? I don't know why my spirit is feeling the way that it is. I just know that it is. And I know that I've been walking with God a lot more. Don't always. I fall off of it. I'm so imperfect, really, people. I fall off of that, but I have been a whole lot closer to Him. There is a beautiful peace that's happening. And from the response yesterday from that one video that I put out, if you want to get some peace and some joy, go read the comments of all of the brothers and sisters on the last video of how they're experiencing this. There's something happening, and I think it's good. It's just, we can't see it exactly right now, but it's there. It's there. And we're all feeling it. And then I was listening to a brother. Now, I don't know, Yahshua's child, she puts out a lot of videos. I don't know, it could be he, I'm not sure. A lot of videos she just reposts, puts out. She's able to still do that. I'm not able to do that, or I'll tell you I'd be doing it. But it was a brother who was walking in the supernatural. That's what this was about. And how he started realizing how the Spirit of God works and how we gain the power. And he used, he did some experiments on a rose and traffic lights, and he was just really showing us that we don't have to ask God for it. God said that we are going to get it if we ask for it, and then we're able to call down the mountains and do all of these amazing things. We are able to, in the name of Jesus Christ, be able to walk on water and walk in the supernatural. I know I walked in the supernatural all my life, not even realizing it. But I just always had this peace inside me, knew that ultimately I would be taken care of and safe. And because of that feeling that I've always had, I walked through burning buildings and exploding cars and exploding house, and I've had all of those crazy things happen, and been thrown off a horse and had my purse save me from, broke my back in that one time though. Well, crushed my vertebrae and broke a rib, I should say. Didn't save me from everything, but the purse flew behind my head. I don't know whoever rides a horse with a purse, but that day I did. And when I hit down on the road, fell down, and my head smacked the ground, my purse was behind my head. And I had the biggest bump. I had a concussion. But just imagine if I didn't. It's just like those things that's like gorgeous, eh? It's like those things that happen that are supernatural. And you probably have had those too, haven't you? I know it's a beautiful day. Enjoy it. Get out if you can. If your weather is good in your area, get out and enjoy it, because we shouldn't be locked in the house. That's not the way to get better or to be healthy, as I've said so many times. I love you guys. Walk in the Holy Spirit. Talk to you later.